Alright, Cowboys Nation, let's get right into everything happening with America's team because there's a lot to unpack this week. And some of it is a little bit of a roller coaster. The Dallas Cowboys are in one of those phases where the news swings back and forth between exciting returns and unfortunate setbacks, and this week is no different. On the positive side, we're finally seeing some long-awaited returns to the roster with De'Aaron Overshawn and Savone Revel officially being activated and ready to contribute. That alone is a huge lift for the team, especially considering how much depth and versatility these two bring to the defensive side of the ball. Overshawn in particular has shown flashes of being an elite playmaker whenever he's on the field, even in a limited sample size. His ability to read the offense, cover ground quickly, and make high-impact plays in crucial moments makes him a weapon the Cowboys desperately need to get back into their defensive schemes. The excitement around his return isn't just about numbers or stats. It's about the confidence and energy he brings to the team when he's out there making plays. On the other hand, Savone Revel, while new to game action with the Cowboys, brings a unique skill set that coaches love. His length, athleticism, and ball skills make him a perfect fit for the outside corner role. And even if he starts more conservatively, his potential impact down the line could be enormous. Seeing him join a quarterback room that already has experienced pieces like Kalen Carson, Trikweze Bridges, Don Blank, Kielum, and Reddy Stewart creates a healthy competition and depth that the Cowboys can rely on not just this season, but potentially for years to come. Now, despite the optimism from those additions, there's some less than ideal news that tempers the excitement. Juan Thomas has been placed on the reserve non-foot illness list, which is concerning considering the migraines he's been dealing with. For those who have ever experienced a migraine, you know just how debilitating they can be, and lingering issues like this always raise red flags. Thomas was able to get back on the field briefly, but now this development removes a key piece from the safety rotation. It's one of those unfortunate situations where the team gains two contributors, but loses one that was stepping into a starting role due to injuries elsewhere. The safety position has been a challenge all season, with a combination of injuries and depth concerns making it a focal point for adjustments. Players like Don Wilson and Elijah Clark are also in varying stages of return or evaluation, which keeps the coaching staff in a constant juggling act to figure out who is ready to step up and who might need more time to get fully healthy. The Cowboys are going to need to be creative with the snaps and rotations, particularly at safety, to ensure that the defense doesn't lose effectiveness while managing player health and readiness. This week's roster moves and activations also raise interesting questions about how the coaching staff will deploy these returning players. Overshawn has primarily been used as an off-ball linebacker with occasional blitz assignments, but his versatility opens up the possibility of more creative usage. Could he spy on quarterbacks in certain packages? Might he rotate into outside linebacker positions during five-man fronts or more complex defensive schemes? These are all considerations that the staff will weigh carefully, especially given his history of impactful play and the need to manage his workload after returning from injury. Patience is key here, but there's also a palpable excitement about getting the good version of De'Aaron Overshawn back on the field. The defense needs his instincts, his physicality, and his playmaking ability, even if the first few games might be more of a measured reintroduction rather than full-throttle deployment. Savone Revel's activation also adds another layer to this strategic balancing act. Unlike Overshawn, Revel hasn't played for the Cowboys yet, so his impact is both an immediate opportunity and a long-term investment. Coaches will have to decide whether to start him right away, rotate him into third-down packages, or carefully manage his snaps to maximize his contribution without overextending him too soon. His physical attributes make him a natural fit for the outside quarterback role, but integrating him smoothly into the rotation and the defensive schemes will be a critical factor in how effectively the Cowboys can shore up their secondary. With Juan Thomas going on the non-foot illness list, there might also be adjustments in safety reps for players like Reddy Stewart, who has been an emergency safety in past weeks. Balancing experience, potential, and health is a delicate equation for the coaching staff, and every decision impacts how the defense performs in high-pressure situations on game day. The practice squad also saw some movement, with John Christian being signed off the Cowboys squad by the Broncos, which highlights the constant ebb and flow of depth pieces behind the active roster. While this doesn't have an immediate impact on the field, it's part of the larger puzzle in managing personnel and ensuring that the team has adequate coverage in case of injuries. The offensive line depth is also worth noting, as only Wesley French remains on the practice squad among offensive linemen. This could prompt further signings to maintain emergency depth, ensuring that the team has contingencies if unexpected injuries occur. All of these developments paint a picture of a Cowboys team navigating the challenges of injuries, returns, and roster management, while trying to maintain competitiveness and consistency on both sides of the ball. The balance between integrating returning players, managing those still recovering, and maintaining depth is critical to the team's short-term performance and long-term outlook. Fans are naturally excited to see Overshawn and Revel on the field, but they also have to be mindful of the ongoing concerns at safety and how those adjustments might play out over the next several games. The strategy of combining returning talent with cautious management, particularly with players like Overshawn and Revel, could pay dividends later in the season, especially as the team aims to optimize performance while avoiding setbacks. Expectations for Overshawn should be tempered slightly. He may not immediately reach peak performance levels right out of the gate, but his presence alone elevates the defense's potential. Similarly, Revel offers a new dynamic to the quarterback rotation, and the coaching staff will have to decide how to maximize his talents without risking injury or overuse. Every snap counts, and these decisions will likely be discussed internally in detail as the team prepares for upcoming matchups. The Dallas Cowboys coaching staff is tasked with a careful orchestration of talent, health, and strategic deployment, ensuring that the team can compete at the highest level, while also setting up younger players like Revel for success in the long term. This week is emblematic of the Cowboys' current season. Full of promise, tempered by caution, and defined by the continuous challenge of managing injuries, returns, and roster depth. Fans will see exciting plays from returning stars, but they'll also need to remain patient as the team navigates these complexities. Every game is a chess match, not just against the opponents on the field, but against the constraints of health, readiness, and the tactical decisions the coaching staff makes to balance short-term success with long-term sustainability. The excitement surrounding Overshawn and Revel is real, and the impact they can have when fully integrated into the team is significant. At the same time, managing the absence of players like Juan Thomas while finding ways to maintain stability at safety is equally crucial to keeping the Cowboys competitive. This constant interplay between positive returns and challenging setbacks defines the narrative around America's team right now. The excitement of seeing returning playmakers is paired with the reality that depth must be managed carefully, and the defense must adapt dynamically to the available personnel. It's a week of strategic recalibration. And while fans cheer for the big names coming back, the smaller roster shifts and practice squad movements quietly shape the team's ability to perform consistently on game day. As the Cowboys integrate Overshawn and Revel into their defensive rotations, they're not just thinking about the next game. They're planning for a season where health, timing, and smart deployment could be the difference between making an impact in the standings or facing setback for which it's difficult to recover. The balance between excitement and caution, talent and depth, potential and immediate readiness is the story of this week in Dallas Cowboys football. Fans are watching eagerly, analyzing every roster move and snap count, and hoping that the returns of Overshawn and Revel translate into meaningful contributions on the field. Meanwhile, managing players like Thomas Stewart and the rest of the safety rotation remains critical to avoiding further disruptions in a position that has been historically tricky for the team this season. The interplay of all these factors, returning stars, ongoing injuries, roster management, and strategic deployment, sets the stage for a complex but exciting chapter in the Cowboys' journey this year. One that promises to deliver both thrills and challenges as the team pushes forward in pursuit of consistent success. Continuing with Cowboys Nation, while the excitement around the returning players is certainly palpable, it's important to look at how these additions fit into the bigger picture of the team's strategy, especially on defense. The secondary has been a roller coaster all season, with injuries forcing the coaching staff to constantly adjust and reshuffle. With Juan Thomas on the reserve non-foot illness list, the Cowboys lose a player who had stepped into a starter role due to the safety room's injury troubles, which leaves gaps that must be addressed quickly. Players like Reddy Stewart, who has filled in as an emergency safety in past weeks, will likely see more snaps, and the staff may look to rotate players carefully to ensure that no one is overworked while still maintaining a level of effectiveness and coverage. It's a delicate balance between maximizing performance and protecting players from further injury, especially in a position that demands so much reaction speed and physicality. Overshown's return offers not just a boost in skill, but also a boost in flexibility. His ability to move around the field, cover tight ends or running backs, and occasionally blitz gives the coaching staff options they haven't had all season. Integrating him into the defensive schemes will require careful planning, especially considering he hasn't played full snaps in recent games. The idea may be to use him in controlled bursts, giving him enough time to acclimate to game speed and intensity while still impacting critical situations. Overshown's football IQ and experience with the Cowboys' defensive system make him a strong candidate to make an immediate impact. But patience will be key in order to ensure he stays healthy and effective for the long run. Savon Rebel's role is similarly exciting but comes with its own set of challenges. Although this is his first chance to play in a Cowboys uniform during a regular season game, his physical tools are undeniable. His long frame, athleticism, and ball skills make him an ideal outside quarterback capable of handling tight coverage against some of the league's most dynamic receivers. The coaching staff will need to decide whether to start him right away, use him in specific packages such as third downs, or integrate him more gradually to manage his workload. Even a limited role initially could provide immediate benefits, particularly in situations where matchups are critical. Rebel's presence also adds depth to a quarterback group that already includes multiple experienced players, creating a competitive environment that could elevate performance across the board. The interplay between returning players and current roster depth is particularly important as the Cowboys navigate the rest of the season. While the return of Overshown and Rebel strengthens the team's potential, the absence of key players like Juan Thomas and the limited availability of others means that every game will require careful personnel management. The coaching staff must be vigilant in monitoring snaps, rotations, and player conditioning to avoid further injuries, especially in a unit that has already seen its share of setbacks. Strategic decisions on where to deploy each player, how many snaps to give them, and when to rotate them out will be critical to maintaining effectiveness throughout the games. It's a dynamic chess match, balancing short-term gains with long-term sustainability, and it underscores the importance of both veteran leadership and emerging talent on a roster. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are growing louder around the league, and the latest one has set social media ablaze. Brandon Aiyuk, the dynamic wide receiver once seen as the heart of San Francisco's aerial attack, is said to be heading to the Dallas Cowboys. Nothing official yet, but multiple signs point towards something big happening in Texas. Sources close to the situation described serious talks between Ajax's camp and the Cowboys front office, suggesting that an announcement could be imminent, or perhaps already made behind closed doors. The potential addition of Aiyuk instantly changes the complexion of Dallas's offense. Known for his crisp route running, explosive acceleration, and knack for finding open space, Aiyuk could provide exactly the spark the Cowboys have been craving. Pairing him with CeeDee Lamb would create one of the most electrifying receiving duos in the NFL. A nightmare for defensive coordinators and a dream come true for quarterback Dak Prescott. The ripple effect could elevate the entire offense, opening lanes for the run game and forcing secondaries into impossible matchups. Inside the star, the mood is reportedly electric. Players are said to be buzzing at the thought of Aiyuk joining the locker room, and coaches are already envisioning ways to integrate his versatile skill set into the system. While official details remain scarce, contract figures, trade terms, or even a confirmation from the team, the speculation feels too substantial to ignore. This isn't just another rumor. This feels like the beginning of something seismic in Dallas. If the whispers prove true, the Cowboys may have just landed the missing piece in their chase for offensive dominance. Aiyuk's arrival could turn a solid unit into a powerhouse, and the rest of the NFC would be wise to take notice. For now, the question lingers in the air. Has America's team just pulled off the move of the year? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.